Well, hello there, Tenno, and welcome back to another episode of Warframe. Today, we are focusing on focus, and I need you to focus, Tenno. I shall explain why in a moment, but first, could you do me absolute, and I mean absolute, honour of dropping me a like, comment, and or sub, because Mama Barbarian over here is trying to reach 10k subs by the new year. I think I'm slightly insane, but your help would be much appreciated. Now, on to the video. Now, as I'm sure you are all aware, the old piece was announced at TennoCon 2025 and is to be released sometime in 2026, and they have made it more than clear that our operators, stroke drifters, I think, will be featuring heavily in this quest, and to that end they are feverishly working on trying to get the appearance update out in advance of the quest for us. This implies that we need some time to work on our new appearances. You know, faff around with them. Look, we can change our eyebrows and everything. We're going to be so busy in our fashion frame channel on my Discord, by the way. And basically we're going to be seeing them more on the screen. I'm guessing that's why they want to make it look good before the quest, right? And another reason we might be using our operator stroke drifters more in-game generally is because they announced also at the TennoCon 2025 event that the focus schools are getting an expansion.
So about that focus expansion.
Good work! This street is going to live, Galastra, and you don't get to tear it up. Dropships inbound!
And so, tingles by the way when I watched that live at TennoCon 2025. Love this. I love Excalibur Prime. Anyway, I don't know exactly how they're going to be expanding the focus schools. Don't know if they're making any changes. They've already shaken up the focus schools in the past to the ones that we have nowadays. So what better time to take a moment to have a little refresher on our focus schools as they appear now, what they are, how we go about leveling them up and interacting with them. What do you think? You up for that? Let's do it. Now, focus, Tenno. Focus refers to the Tenno's powers as guided by the principles of the 5 focus schools, as well as their associated special abilities. Players unlock their first focus abilities after completing the second dream quest, starting with 2 passive abilities per school. And you gain access to all remaining abilities after the War Within quest and Sayer's Vigil quest, with assistance from the Coils, also at Cetus. Some abilities benefit the operator or Warframe exclusively, while others can benefit both entities. Focus schools already got a rework, as I mentioned, where they added the 2 unique castable abilities to each school, reworked other abilities and changed the Waybound ability costs. So how do you activate focus in the first place if you're not there yet? Well, upon completion of the second dream quest, players become able to perform transcendence, not transference. When activated, an invulnerable projection of the operator along with a powerful void beam attack will appear and hover over the warframe, able to be controlled through basic movement, and any learned focus passes will take effect. During Transcendence, the player's Warframe is invulnerable but disabled, though any active, channeled or cast abilities will remain. The state lasts for 10 seconds unless the player manually deactivates it or falls off the platform. I'm good at that. Activating Transcendence requires a filled gauge that automatically charges after 3 minutes. I kind of remember using it by accident the first time I did it and thinking, well, that was pretty rubbish. You don't really get to control much. You're just like blasting the enemies in the face with a void beam, and it's just a little bit restrictive. However, mercifully, once you complete the War Within quest, Transcendence is replaced with our wonderful Transference, which allows the operator to physically join the battle with an entirely new set of abilities, amps and arcanes. This upgrade also allows focus passives to take effect immediately at the start of a mission, even if Transference isn't used at all. And what are those schools that I mentioned? Well, there are 5. We have Madurai, Vazarin, Naramon, Unairu, and Zenurik. So let's talk a little bit about each one, shall we? First up we have Naramon. Now I've chosen this one first because I'm still ranking this one up and I haven't unbound my Waybound stuff and things. We'll talk about that in a moment. So Naramon, School of the Tacticians. The Naramon Way is a school focused in the art of knowing the enemy, allowing its adherents to exploit their opponent's weaknesses. The Tenno of Naramon excel in direct combat to both dominate and neutralize armed enemies. So basically this school focuses to enhance Warframe's melee prowess. So really good to take with Warframes like Kalervo. Madurai, next up, School of the Fighters. The Madurai Way is a school dedicated to offense. So basically this school focuses to improve the damage output of your Operator, Straight Drifter and Warframes, and their Waybound increases amp, energy pool and regen. So I like this one. I use it with my Vault build on my Eidolon build because it just makes stripping off the Eidolon's armor really easy. So when you do your slingshot, your chain sling, you're basically pushing up your damage output. And if you're not sure what I'm talking about, go and check out my Eidolon video. Next up we have Unairu, School of the Indomitable. So basically this one gives direct buffs to allies' offences and defences, and also it gives enhanced damage resistance and damage reflection. So this school improves Operator and Warframe survivability, granting immunity to slow, stagger, knockdown. It increases armour, clears transference static, that's a thing. Yay. They are also able to debuff enemies by stripping their armor and shields. That's right. And their Waybound allows the Operator to fight and self-revive their Warframe during bleed out, apart from a couple of Warframes like Inaros, etc. So yeah, removes all armor. Doesn't that sound useful? Next up we have Vazarin, School of the Protectors. That's right. The Vazarin excel in arts of emergency support, self-sustenance, recovery and warding power. So this school supports allies by increasing affinity radius. Very useful to provide aid from further away. It enhances revives. They perform more quickly as you rank up. Grants health regen and protective barriers. Inflicts a burst of crowd control with Void Sling to provide immediate and emergency recovery. And the Waybound increases Operator health, armor and health regen rate. And again, we'll talk about these Waybounds in a mo and what it means. And last up we have Zenurik, the School of the Arcane. This school is dedicated to enemy attrition and battlefield control. And also it massively increases energy regen for Operators and Warframes and Necromechs. And you get one free Warframe ability cast per 60 seconds. You can disarm and slow enemies. And the Waybound increases Operator energy capacity and regen. Right, so this energy regen, I used it so much during the game that I've earned quite a lot of standing here with the Zenurik. Yeah, and we're going to talk about earning standing with these various schools right on now. And each of these schools has their own skill tree comprising 10 abilities each, called ways, which unlock various passive abilities that can enhance Operator powers and grant improvements to the player's Warframe. Each way contains their own rank, which can be increased by spending focus points into the specified way. In addition, the remaining unchosen schools at the end of the second dream require 50,000 focus points to unlock before you can start ranking them up. Unlocking a way requires a one-time spending of focus. The player must then confirm the allocation. Otherwise, they will revert their focus powers to that of the last confirmed change. Once confirmed, focus cannot be reimbursed or retrieved. This is important, because you can earn focus for different schools as you're going through at the same time if you get smart about it. Anyway, ways are split into active, passive and waybounds. Active and passive ways are only usable in the specific focus school they belong to and will not have any effect if any other school is selected as the primary focus school. And how do we rank up these various trees, you may ask? Well, we do have a daily cap, but when you start, focus points have a daily limit of 250 POW, which scales at the rate of 5,000 additional cap per mastery rank. So I'm legendary rank 4 now, and my daily cap is of 120,000. Yay! Focus points can be spent by accessing this focus menu wherever your base of operations happens to be. Just go and find your drifter stroke operator menu, and there you go. These can be spent to unlock a new school, unlock or upgrade a node, or increase the maximum way capacity. So how do we earn focus? Well, once this is all unlocked to you in missions, you're going to start seeing these convergence orbs. They're yellow glowing pickups. They multiply the amount of affinity that you earn that is converted into focus. So by the way, if you didn't know, affinity and focus are very closely linked. If you have an affinity booster and you're farming focus, you'll possibly earn more focus. So these convergence orbs will convert focus by 10 times for either a period of 45 seconds or until you die, or when the daily focus cap has been reached, whichever is shortest. They also instantly grant 5,000 focus points to the current active school. So whichever school that you have active in your little focus area, whether it be Naramon, Zenurik, whatever that you're using, that's what you're going to start converting them towards there. However, you can also earn focus by applying lenses for the other schools on your arsenal equipment. So let's look at these lenses, shall we? There are 4 types of lenses. You start with the regular, you work up towards the greater lens, then the Eidolon lens, and then the Lua lens if you so wish. And you need a regular lens to build the greater lens, a greater lens to build the Eidolon lens, and an Eidolon lens to build the Lua lens. And of course, they're not just lenses, they're not just generic, they are linked to a school from the get-go. So you can get your regular lenses, whether it be Naramon, Madurai, whatever. Those drop from bounties at Cetus and potentially Fortuna. And it's usually bounty rank level 3 and above. So that's where you're going to get your original lenses from. And if you have access to the Zaramon bounties and the Sanctum Anatomica bounties, the tier 3 to 5 bounties, those will potentially drop the greater lenses for you, which you can then use your regular lens to build a greater lens. And if you get an Eidolon lens from doing your Cetus bounties, if you have built a greater lens, whether it be Naramon, Madurai, etc., you can then use that greater lens to build your Eidolon lens. Now, the Lua lens obviously gives the most affinity stroke focus for your efforts, so it's harder to get hold of course, and the clue is in the name Lua, so you're gonna have to do, I believe, the disruption on Lua and reach, I think it's rotation C. In fact, I know it is. One other thing to note is that all of these lenses are tradable apart from the greater lenses. I know, even the Lua lens blueprint is tradable, it appears. It just doesn't, they can't charge as much. So the completed built ones can go for a little bit more plat, I believe. I didn't know this, and I'm sat on quite a few blueprints, so maybe I feel like some trading could be installed. I don't know how much call there is for lenses, to be honest. They drop as you play the game. I don't think I've ever specifically gone looking for a lens, ever, in my history of the game, but now you're watching this video, maybe you might need to. But I mean, you're going to want to rank all of the focus schools up at some point anyway, and you might want to do it all in one go, one school at a time, or you might just want to spread the love among your arsenal and put, I don't know, a greater Naramon lens on your primary weapon, a regular Zenurik lens on your secondary weapon, whatever your poison is, spreading the affinity, spreading the love. I know some people love to go hardcore focus on the focus, you know, like the farming thing, and I get it, I do. I just don't really love playing the game that way myself. The last thing we need to talk about is our Waybound abilities. So these are kind of passives that you have for each school. I think there are a couple of them. And the reason they're bound to your tree is because you're going to want to unbind them. It's a thing to work towards. And essentially, once you've unbound them, they are then like free floating passives across all of your schools, no matter which school you have equipped in your arsenal. So the passives, once they're unbound from Zenurik, the Zenurik passives will work if you have Madurai equipped, and so on and so forth. So this is just adding like a lovely juicy cherry to the top of your arsenal cake without you realizing it. Okay, but you have to work towards ranking up these final branches of the tree, and then you have these special little nodes that you're going to unbind. There's only a couple of them. They cost a lot of standing, and to do the unbinding, you require a brilliant Eidolon shards. Yes, so Eidolon hunting is very much linked with focus schools. Because did you know, and correct me if I'm wrong, but when you're trading in Eidolon shards and brilliant Eidolon shards for your focus standing, not just for unbinding your Waybound passives, there is no cap. So if you love doing an Eidolon hunt, whether you're capturing or killing and you're just getting a ton of Eidolon shards, you can trade those in for a little bit of focus. Well, it's quite a good chunk of focus actually, if you prefer doing that than just going and getting farming focus with your lenses, etc. But that's just a lovely passive way of doing it. However, capturing them, giving you the brilliant Eidolon shards, A, to unbind your passive, your Waybound passives, but also B, to trade in for even more focus. And don't worry about the cap. You know, when you go and do the syndicate missions and you pick up the medallions and you can go and trade them in, even though you have exceeded your daily standing cap, they'll still allow you to trade it for standing. Did you know that? It's the same with Eidolon shards. So if you want to cheat, if you want to go around and not worry about your daily standing cap, if you've maxed it out, just go and do some Eidolon hunting. And if you're not trying to do that, go and watch my Eidolon videos. And if you're really not sure, just come and join the Discord, my darlings. So I'm not going to keep waffling on. I just wanted you to focus on your focus, okay? If you want even more in-depth, please shout out in the comments. If you've got any other hints and tips, please leave them in the comments or come to the Discord and have a little chitty chat with us. And by the way, if you're wondering where to get the 40,000 Radiant Eidolon shard from, it's from capturing the next 2 Eidolons up. So the Ganchulist and the Hydralist. The Terralist is the first level Eidolon that you saw here. I can do an updated Eidolon video. I probably need to actually. Anyway, so there you go. There's some ideas to get you started with a focus. So focusing on your focus, trying to work our way through our trees. Don't be too stressed about it anyway, but it might just stand us in good stead for the old piece. It might not. This might be all pointless. However, it's still good to have it in the game, isn't it? Because those passives are going to be useful generally anyway. So let me know what you think. Let me know how far you are with your focus. I'm at a point now where I've got a ton of focus standing for one school, but hardly any for the Naramon. So Zenurik, I've got like 12 million now, and I've bought all the stuff and the things that are available. If you didn't know, you can buy some stuff and things at a certain point from those schools to represent your school, and I'm still earning too much focus. What I'm really hoping is for those of us who have earned a ton of focus, there's going to be a new place to spend our focus points. That's what I'm hoping. Let me know what you think in the comments. Maybe I've missed some dev stream where they've been more specific about the deets, or some notes somewhere, you know, online. If you know, don't spoil too much in the comments, but please feel free to drop us a little hint. And like I said, come and join the Discord. And I want to thank all of my Discordians for being awesome sauce, and all of my YouTube members. And I really do want to say thank you to you if you're still watching. Thanks for watching. Please carry on watching. I need you. In the meantime, thank you so much for joining me. I really do hope to see you in the next one, no matter what it may be. But in the meantime, you focus, Tenno. And I shall see you in the next one. Take care now, and goodbye.